Hey Park Hoppers, and welcome back to another movie review. Today we will be reviewing...
We're going to watch the live action Mulan as it just hit Disney Plus today.
Yep.
So we're pretty excited to watch it.
I am. We got our snacks.
Some snacks. Some Nina Marie brownie. This looks super delicious.
I'm excited for that.
Super glad.
Got our popcorn, got some soda.
Gotta have them.
We got our comfy bed here.
Yep.
And we're ready to watch the movie.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, and we'll check back in with you guys in a few minutes.
All right.
Alright, well, we're back. We just finished watching Mulan, and overall, enjoyable, I would say, for the most part.
We're going to review the movie in our 5 categories: storytelling, acting, music, cinematography, and special effects.
Special effects.
Yep.
I think we should also talk about maybe like the stunts and the action parts of it in special effects.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just bundle that in there.
For sure, for sure.
Cool. So let's start with storytelling then.
Storytelling. If you haven't seen the movie yet, don't go in expecting the original Disney Mulan.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of comments online, they said from the very beginning that this was I think some people are saying traditional story of Mulan.
Yeah.
Like like fairy tale Disney-fied.
I don't know which one I like more. Like, I like that this did seem a lot more traditional.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot more of the like Chinese heritage. Yeah, like I felt like it went more in depth.
Yeah, I think as far as storytelling goes, there were a lot of elements that they did really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is a more, like, I'm going to say grounded story.
Yes.
That's not to say that it takes place in a universe where magic doesn't exist, which I thought it would.
Right.
I thought that's why they got rid of, like, Mushu and, like, some of those, like, fantastical elements, because they were going for a more realistic and kind of going away from what all the other live actions have been doing. But it definitely was not grounded in a world where physics exists or magic doesn't exist. Not to give anything away, but...
And I 100% agree. Like, the trailers, they did a really good job at hiding that aspect of it.
I was super surprised. But again, I had low expectations, so I only watched a couple of the early trailers.
I literally only watched whatever trailers you watched.
Right.
So, yeah, we didn't see much.
But the story was a lot different. It kind of cuts out a lot of the love story.
Yes.
The villain is different.
Yes.
Same kind of goals, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Mulan's still the same character, very strong, fierce, independent woman. So that came out even more, I would say, in this.
I agree.
But it was good overall. Mm-hmm. Storytelling was done well. I would say, though, there are a lot of story points that, since they pull it from the original Mulan, obviously, like, you're gonna know the story. It's nothing brand new, but it was still done pretty well.
Right. I like that they showed Mulan young.
Yeah, that was nice.
Watching how they tried to take away that feminist in her out.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I did like young Mulan. That was a nice addition, I think.
Right.
So I think from storytelling, we can just go straight into the acting.
Yes.
I wasn't a fan of the acting.
Agree. I don't know if, like... I don't even know what I want to say about it, but the only thing that did surprise me was the villain. Like, how much the villain in New Mulan looked so much like the villain in Old Mulan. I don't remember his name, and I think I've only seen Mulan like once or twice.
Yeah, we actually should have watched it before we saw this.
Right.
I remember the songs from Mulan.
Definitely.
Because you get those at Disneyland.
You get them at Disneyland. I get them on my playlist.
Right.
Like,
so I definitely remembered those, but I can say I don't remember, like, the names of, like, the main character, like the main villain and stuff. But they did a good job with him. He was good.
Yeah.
I don't want to give any of the story elements away, but like his like right hand person was pretty good. But a lot of the supporting characters, they were just kind of overacting or just there. Right.
Overall acting, it was mediocre.
It was okay. Yeah. The upside is the acting for I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, but the girl that plays Mulan was good.
Yes.
But some of the supporting acting, I just wasn't feeling it.
Agree. Music.
The music was good.
It was. I like that they played the original soundtrack with the melody.
They kind of just spliced like the actual song without lyrics into the new music.
Mm-hmm.
They do that a couple times, and I thought that was a nice like homage to the animated movie.
Agree.
But again, for those that didn't follow it or unsure, this is not like your typical Disney live
movie.
action. There is no music, like as far as songs.
No songs,
There's no
singing.
sing-alongs. There's not a.
I don't think there's any lyrics at all in anything.
No, I don't think so either.
It's all just melody.
The music is good.
Right.
But it's not. If you're expecting a musical, you're not getting it and you're going to be disappointed. But they did say from the beginning that's not what this is.
Agreed.
But it seems like a lot of people, I'm reading like a lot of comments online, on Instagram,
everybody's
on Facebook,
still surprised.
They're all surprised that there's no song to make a man out of you. And it's like, well, they cut all that, you know? So I'm kind of like a cinematography nerd. I've gotten really into cameras and lenses, and that's like all I watch on YouTube other than Disney stuff.
He points out so many little things that I don't even notice.
It is like we'll be watching Grey's Anatomy and I'll be like, oh, you see how this scene's supposed to be uncomfortable, so the camera's really tight.
Yeah.
But as the scene progresses and it's like you're supposed to feel better, now we have a wide shot. And it's like, that's the kind of stuff I notice all the time. And looking at Mulan's cinematography, that was done pretty well.
I agree.
They really try to show like a lot of the sprawling like countryside of China. I believe most of the movie was shot in China.
I think it was really pretty.
They did a great job. Super wide shots.
Yes.
When Mulan's riding to join the army, just like in the animated movie, you have these wide vistas and like little Mulan. I mean, just showing that scale. Cinematography was beautiful.
I agree.
The camera work was
I 100% agree.
Some of the camera work for the fight scenes, which we'll kind of probably get into when we go into special effects next. Some of the fight scenes, the camera work was jarring, I would say. They were trying to do some cool like Matrix-esque like spinning camera things, and there is a lot of like kung fu, like they do a lot of crazy camera stuff, and it works when the whole movie's like that. But you go from like this traditional like Hollywood shot,
and then it cuts and does
into these
the
like
special effect type of deal.
It kind of stands out, but overall the cinematography was good.
I agree with that.
And then moving from that into special effects, I mean, the actual special effects were pretty good.
Yeah.
If you've watched a lot of like Chinese cinema, there is a lot of the way they shot the fight scenes that comes out of those kind of movies.
Does it?
The kind of floaty martial arts.
Yeah, right.
That's very popular. Obviously it was made very popular to American filmgoers in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes.
And since then it's been widely overused.
Agreed.
They used that style is definitely in the movie. I kind of again wasn't really expecting that. I don't know if I liked it or not. I do like it in a lot of movies. It didn't really do anything for me in this one.
I think it just to give it that Chinese feel, like to like encourage that type of like movie of it. It's
definitely possible that that's what they were going for. I think that the fight scenes though, I didn't enjoy the action scenes.
No, they were. I feel like there wasn't enough.
I feel like there maybe you're right, there wasn't enough, but I didn't like the way they were filmed. I didn't like the way they were cut.
Right.
And you can tell it's because they're like using stunt people.
Right.
They're cutting quick between them and between the actor, and like I get that. I don't want the actors or actresses to like be hurt filming a movie. But there are so many movies nowadays that do these amazing stunt scenes where the camera's not cutting every 4 seconds, and you can actually see what's going on because it's like kind of wide cut with swords clashing to close cut to close cut, close cut of the swords, wide again for a second, close cut, and it's not as bad as we've seen in the past with other movies. You could still tell what was going on at least, but they have these beautiful vistas and backgrounds and beautiful mountain scenes, and we don't get to see any of that during the fight and like put the fight in perspective. I don't know, we didn't see any of that.
I 100% agree. Like I wanted to see more out of what I wanted. They gave me like a good 15%.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into like spoilers of the last parts of the movie, but I will say like think about the original animated Mulan, and I've only seen it a couple times, so I don't have a great recollection of it.
Right.
But I remember the scene where she fires the rocket into the Alps, right, and brings the snow down.
Right.
And it's like little Mulan.
Right.
Big scene, and it's like that really like shows the magnitude of what's going to happen.
Yes.
And then the end scene where her and the villain in the animated movie are fighting on like the rooftops.
Right.
Like, and it's like big rooftop, little
Mulan,
characters.
yeah.
Like, you really see that what's going on, and it just didn't have that feeling here.
I agree.
It's pretty common with action movies nowadays, though, unless the action is like the movie's known for action, like James Bond
right
type things. Movies like this, it seems like the action is getting cut more and more, unless it's a lot of CG.
Yeah.
Would I watch it again? I didn't not like it.
Right. I 100% agree with that. Like, I did not like it. I would probably watch it again as, like, something playing in the background.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh, I don't want to watch this if we went to a friend's house and it was
right.
playing. I probably won't put on Disney Plus and watch it again, even though we have that access now forever. So we did spend the $30. We went through the app and we did the whole process, and it was really easy.
Was it?
The app was super easy. Just open it, go to it. It synced right with my Apple Pay.
Awesome.
So I could just use that. I didn't have to do PayPal or anything like that.
Awesome.
If you don't have Apple Pay, I don't know how it syncs. You might have to add a credit card. I figured it would just use the credit card I have on file for Disney
monthly
Plus,
payments,
you know? But ours is free through Verizon still, but we still have a card on file.
Right.
Was it worth $30? You know, if we'd have seen this in theaters, I would say, yeah, it was worth seeing in theaters.
Yeah.
You have these giant, beautiful vistas that we would have watched on a giant screen in super
in a
comfy chair. You know, and we go to Harkins. They're probably not going to watch this video, but shout out to Harkins. We buy a shirt and refillable cups, and we get like $1.50 popcorn and $1.50 soda refills.
Yeah.
So going to the movies is not super expensive when you go to Harkins. Luckily, we live close to some. So I would have felt fine spending $30 to go to the movies to see this. $30 at home.
I mean, we did. I mean, I don't want to say we had the comfort of our bed because you sit in a chair.
I sit in my computer chair.
I sit on the bed like right here.
Yeah, like right back here.
So
My
I get
chair is,
comfortable
like, right
a lot.
here. And I'm comfortable in my chair. It's a comfortable computer chair.
It is.
But it's not the same as watching it at home.
Right.
Or like watching it in the movie theater.
Yeah. Like, we were stuck with like a bottled soda, not like a cup with ice and whatnot. Like,
right. Well, I mean, I guess we could have put the soda in a cup of ice.
We could have, but
it's not the same, right?
Right.
Even with all of that, like, it's just not the same. We have a nice sound system. It's not 100 speakers in like an amazing theater.
Right.
So, you know, I don't think it was worth the $30 unless you're a really big Mulan fan.
Right.
And you're okay with it not being the cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, if you have to be okay with that. You have to understand this is a different Mulan and not in a bad way necessarily.
No, like I said before, I enjoyed that it was more heritage, and they showed the growth of Mulan.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah, I did enjoy Child Mulan for that little bit we get her. Yeah, if you're stuck home and you're bored with the family, it's not a bad way to spend $30.
Agree.
For families that are more than just two people, $30 to watch a movie at home is pretty good. I mean, it's gonna be on Disney Plus theoretically forever.
Right.
So $30, you don't own it, but you have access to it for a while.
Right.
It's worth it. But honestly, I think Disney announced that it's going to be available for all Disney Plus subscribers by December.
Okay.
So to only wait a couple months.
I'd wait a couple months.
I'd wait a couple months personally, but I think a lot of people are like, we're really jonesing for like new movies.
Right. And I 100% agree, because I felt the same way. I miss going to the movie theater. Yeah. We used to watch a new movie at least multiple times a weekend.
At least once a weekend.
Yeah, at least once a weekend, for sure.
Weekend.
But there would be some weekends we'd be at the movie theater 3 times.
Yeah, it happens. We love the movies. So if you're into it, get it. I don't think you'll be super disappointed.
No.
But if you're like on the fence about it, I would say just wait.
I'd wait.
You're probably not going to like it. The only thing I will say in defense of the $30 rental is that we now have access to it forever.
Yeah.
So like, if Disney wasn't gonna bring it out until like next year on Disney Plus or something, we would still have access to it, it seems like. Whereas when you look at what they did with Trolls or the Scooby-Doo movie, those were $20 rentals. And you got them for a set period of time.
Yeah.
And then they only what subscription service are they gonna go to?
Right.
Probably not Netflix. Warner Brothers has their own.
True.
Everybody has their own. So it's like, where are they gonna go? So you pay that, and you're gonna lose that access. And that was $20.
To have to pay again.
So this was $30. But I think
a
lot of people don't like that it came to Disney Plus, like, and we had to pay for it. Whereas you look at something like Onward, it came to Disney Plus, and that was that.
Right.
But we have to remember that Onward did get a small theatrical release for a couple weeks. Yeah. That was the last movie that we've seen in theaters.
It was.
So, But yeah, overall, we still enjoyed it. Had a
It
good
was good.
time. If I had to give it a ranking, it'd be like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same.
3 out of 5.
A 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys watch it, let us know what you think. Leave a comment below.
Yes.
Make sure you do the YouTube thing if you enjoyed this. Give us a like.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. You know, if you want to ring the bell, go ahead. If you don't want annoying notifications.
I'd ring it.
Yeah. Crystal would ring the bell. I do ring the bell on some of my favorite YouTubers.
Oh, yes.
So, you know, ring the bell if you're into that kind of thing. And until next time, we'll see you guys.
We'll see ya. Bye.